What are some behaviors you might see in a horse who is uncomfortable with the way their saddle fits? If your saddle doesn't fit, is it bad to get a thicker pad, or is it better to get a new saddle?
Well, we work for SmartPak, so it's better to get a new saddle. But
with free shipping.
Yeah, that question is. At first, I saw it. I'm like. At first, I was like, I don't want them to vote on this, but then I'm like, no, it's still a veterinary question, and so I'm approaching it from a veterinary perspective, which is get a saddle fitter. But so to answer our question specifically, though, the behaviors that you would see can be misbehavior, can be poor performance, and so if I've got a horse as a veterinarian that is not lame but not performing up to his usual standard, or has begun to display some resistance against even being saddled, being mounted, certain maneuvers when you're riding, I will say, let's look at the saddle. And there's a whole host of things I want to look at. I want to look at like the teeth, I want to look at just do an overall physical exam and a lameness exam, but a saddle fitting is certainly part of that, because the horse that pins his ears, turns around as if it's going to bite, even kicks out when you're saddling, when you put the pad on the saddle, when you girth. Some horses are girthy, cinchy, so all those things, they don't necessarily have to be saddle fit, but they can be. Likewise, horses that maybe they used to be able to canter and they're not cantering well anymore, or they're refusing jumps, or they're not doing their spins or turns or barrels, whatever, might be a saddle fit. And you think, but he was doing it, what could change? Horses' shapes change with age and with work.
Just like people.
Yeah, there was even a study that they measured, they took a tracing, one of those wither tracing devices, and they looked at the horse before work. Then they rode him, I think it was just 30 minutes, and then they retraced and it was different. So during a ride, your horse's back will change. The part of the question of, can I just put a pad or something? Probably not. Probably get a saddle fitter out to assess, and maybe a new saddle, because think about if the saddle's too narrow, and then you add pads, whether they're half pads, gel pads, whatever, that's going to make it even more narrow and fit even worse. If the saddle's too wide, that will help, but not all the time. So that's probably not good advice, like across the board. I'm really into saddle fitters. I'm really into good fitting saddles.
It feels like, particularly if you're seeing behavioral changes, that's not something that a little bit of a pad is going to fix.
Probably not. And it's more of a bandage, more of a thing that gets you through until the saddle fitter can get there if you want to keep riding. So.
All right.